What is going on, friends and family? Check it out, I got a new video for you guys today, and today's video I think is going to be really fun and interesting for a lot of you guys who are dealing with acne issues at the moment. Today's video I want to talk about acne stories that people have gone through, acne experiences people have gone through. And so on my Instagram yesterday I said, hey, get out of my face, fly. That's not what I said, but what I said was, if you've been through acne, if you've ever had any struggle with acne that has been difficult for you, I wanted you to send me a message telling me your story, and then give me any sort of like advice you want to give to people, or any sort of like sentiment or feeling that you wanted to put out there, because people that are watching this video are going to be people who are currently going through acne or have someone in their life who is dealing with acne. So let's jump into the stories, and I'm hoping that you guys are going to really like this. All right, so this first one is from Ivan. Ivan says, regarding acne, it has been a long journey, which is still an ongoing problem to this day. I had normal teenage acne around age 17. Hardcore cysts came in and exploded on my face. Most of them were in the chin area. I tried antibiotics, Tazarac, and pretty much everything to fix my acne. It destroyed my self-esteem at moments because I used to work for a lady that would constantly mention it and give me the hardest time about it. The two big things that can improve my acne are not the medications, but the lifestyle choices, which are diet and stress for him specifically. Cutting dairy was first on my list, but it was a difficult thing to do growing up in a Russian household. Also, my acne would always get better when you simply don't stress over it as much. Seeing my imperfections as a positive thing gave me a new outlook on life. Absolutely agree with him on that point. When you stress about your acne, you cause yourself to have more acne, and I think there's like multiple different reasons as to why, but for me personally, when I stress, my cortisol levels are up, and that causes so many other things to be off. Like my sleep is off, and the way that I eat is off, and all those things kind of, you know, add up to being different contributing factors to acne. So definitely agree with what Ivan is saying. Okay, so this next one is from Jonas, and this one I can definitely relate with because this is a story that's pretty similar to mine. I had acne all through my high school years, so until I was about 17. I got bullied really badly because of it, and I had people drawing pictures of me in class but covering the page in spots. Friends of mine used to call me Pizza Face and many other horrible names. And a pretty typical acne story, I remember one day I had a really bad breakout and I was meeting friends in the park. All of them didn't hesitate to point out how bad my face looked and how bad my skin was. I tried not to let it bother me, but it really broke me. I left the park, went home, and just cried for hours and hours. But I learned something from it. One, they weren't my friends, and two, you should never point out a flaw in someone that they can't change in under 10 seconds. That is a dope piece of advice. That's a really good piece of advice. You should never point out something about somebody that they can't change in 10 seconds if you're going to, you know, critique them in a way. Because if you're talking about acne, or if you're talking about the way that someone is built or the way that they look in some sort of a way, they can't change that. They can't become taller because you called them short. You know what I mean? So if it's something like, you know, I wish you would try harder or something like that, or like, you're a really good singer, I wish you put more effort into that. That's something that is, I think, could be constructive criticism. But when it comes to acne, there's really no point in pointing it out, especially when it comes to like drawing pictures and making fun of people, calling them names and stuff like that. It is not beneficial for anybody. This next one comes from Evolved Cooking, and she says, currently dealing with acne and have been for almost 3 years. Cystic. It flares up sometimes, goes away sometimes, but I never have completely, fully clear skin. It's really taught me a lot. I really believe that. I used to judge people a lot more than I'd like to say I did, and having acne really taught me that if you don't know someone's story, everyone is equal, and just because appearance is different doesn't mean that they're less of a human. The journey sucks, but it has its perks. Okay, so the thing that I really liked about this message, I thought this was really cool that you admitted this, because a lot of people wouldn't do this. A lot of people have egos and they won't admit that at one point they didn't act the same way that they act now, and at one point they aren't proud of how they used to act. And I definitely was one of those people who, before I had acne, before I realized that acne was as big of a part of my life as it was going to become, you know, when you first start getting acne, you don't realize, then it gets really severe. I was definitely someone who would make a lot of inappropriate jokes and make fun of people. I just didn't understand people's plights. I didn't understand why people were going through such hard times. And so I could never relate with anybody, whether it was, you know, like people who had weight problems or people with deformities or any of that kind of stuff. I didn't understand how difficult that kind of stuff could be until I had gone through my own journey. And I think that's exactly what she's saying here, is that when you don't have that perspective, it can be really hard to treat people the way that they should be treated. But when you go through something that's really difficult, that's a really hard obstacle in your life, it makes it so that while you don't understand other people's obstacles, you understand that people have obstacles, and it makes it so that you can respect those obstacles, and that makes it easier to be a good person. And in that way, if you have come to that point, I think it could be a really good thing that makes you realize how grateful you are that you ever had acne. All right, so this next one is from Marshall McLean. He says, I have really bad acne, probably almost as bad as yours was back when it was really bad, and I had to do a speech in front of my class a few months ago, and I was so nervous because I thought everyone would stare at my acne, and when it came time for me to do it, got Roger barking over here, I felt amazing, and it just proves that having acne shouldn't be the reason you don't have confidence. We're gonna get away from Roger, but look at Roger. Roger! Why are you yelling at me, man? Why are you yelling? Hi, Raj. Hi. You want to be in the video?
See, you're fine.
I don't know where we were before Otis broke us up there, but it came from me to do. I felt amazing, and it just proves having acne shouldn't be the reason you don't have much confidence, because most people don't actually care, and few, when people have, I guess, bullied me about it, I just don't give a shit about what people think anymore, and I feel much better off because of it, and thank you for all your videos. You've made it helped so much. I absolutely agree. Like, there's two sides to it. So when you have acne and you are going through just normal tasks day to day, you realize how much harder it is for you to go through a day-to-day task. You know, for other people, when they go to take a speech in front of the class, they have to think about the fact that they're nervous. But when you have acne, you have to think about the fact that you're nervous about the actual speech, but you're also nervous about how your face is gonna look that day. And so that adds a lot to it. But on the other side of things, like he's saying, is he was super nervous about how his face was gonna be and if people were gonna make fun of it, and then realized that nobody was making fun of him at all. Nobody even pointed it out, and it ended up not being as big of a deal as he thought it was going to be. So there's two sides of the coin, and I think having the right perspective can make it a lot more times this side of the coin where people aren't realizing it as much. Of course, you'll still run into the odd person who is going to make fun of you, like some of these other stories we've talked about, but having the right perspective can make it so that those people who are talking to you in a bad way or making fun of you, you don't hear them. And then the other people, they see that you're confident and you don't care, and then they decide, we're not gonna make fun of me either, there's no reason to. Okay, so this final story is coming from Kalisa, and she said, kids ask me if I got attacked by mosquitoes, if they can play connect the dots on my forehead, etc. These comments bother me because it makes me feel as if it'll never get better. But your videos have truly shown me that I'm not alone. They have shown me the things that I can do to get better no matter what. They've proven to me that even if you have acne, you're still beautiful. Absolutely true. And your videos have truly impacted my life. I feel as if I have a more positive outlook on life on a day-to-day basis. You showed me that what's on the inside is all that matters. You showed me that people can be cruel, but how you view yourself is all that really matters. You showed me that I am beautiful, that I am worth it, that I am perfect, and I'll forever thank you so much for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you for the message. I feel like that I didn't expect it to be so praising of me, but I think that's amazing, especially since you started your story by saying that it really got you down in the past. People would make fun of you and say you got attacked by mosquitoes, or if they could play connect the dots on your forehead. Like, that is really, really, really trashy, mean stuff. But it's cool that you've been able to, just through my videos and through, you know, trying to change your perspective, you've been able to change your perspective, and that's awesome. Changing your perspective changes everything. It changes the rules of the game that you're playing in. And if you can change your perspective, you can make so much of this stuff go away just instantly, just by not giving it the ear that you used to give it, not giving it the attention that you used to give it. And so that's really awesome that you've been able to learn that some people's opinion just doesn't matter. And whether or not they mature is not your responsibility. Knowing that their opinion doesn't matter can really change the way that you let it affect your day-to-day basis. When I get these messages from you guys where you tell me like what you're dealing with, or what kind of bullying you have to deal with, or what your acne looks like at the moment, or how it makes you feel, it makes me feel two things. It makes me really sad that you have to go through the same thing that I had to go through, where people are being mean to you and make you feel like you're worth less than you actually are. But it also makes me happy that people are watching and people are at least reaching out, and they are ready to change the way that they're doing things. Obviously, otherwise you wouldn't be messaging me or sending me comments and stuff, because you want to change. You want to do something that will make things better. And I can tell you that there are a lot of things I've talked about on the channel that can help you clear up your acne, whether that's, you know, routine habits that you change, or food habits and intake that you change, or exercise or whatever else. But even beyond being able to actually change your acne itself, even if your acne stays the exact same as it is right now, there are so many things that you can do to change what's in here and the way that you look at your acne. And I think a lot of these stories are kind of testament to that, because you saw a lot of people say that their acne's been worse than maybe yours is right now, or they're getting it worse than you are from the bullies or the people that they're interacting with on a day-to-day basis. Yet at the end of their story, you heard that they have been able to change the way they look at themselves or change the way that they value themselves. And that is really important and key, because if you are someone who is feeling like you can't change anything, or you feel like you are not worth as much as me or the next person because your face isn't as clear, you can now realize that there are a lot of people who have felt like you in the past and don't feel like you right now, but they still have the same acne as you. And that can just show you that you can change. It's just a matter of taking small steps towards a new outlook on yourself and life. And so the purpose of this video, I'm hoping, is that you're gonna see all these different stories from other people, and you're gonna get encouragement knowing that you're not alone, but also you're gonna get the perspective change of knowing that you can change the way that you look at everything, you can change your outlook, and you can make everything a lot easier for you. It is a long-term thing that you have to work on each day, but you can start by making small steps towards just changing the way that you look at yourself, valuing yourself, knowing that you are beautiful, you are perfect, you are just as worth it as the next person, especially worth it or more worth it than the people who are making fun of you on a day-to-day basis. So take this confidence, know that I'm there with you, and I love all of you guys. So thank you guys so much for supporting, checking out this video. I hope that it was helpful for those of you who I was intending it to be helpful for. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Team Beyond the Week, Team Acne, CT.
Lift heavy or die MIRIN, motherfucker.
Team Beyond the Week.